2017 Genesis G90 V8. The G90 sedan is as new as the Genesis brand it belongs to, but neither the car nor the company is entirely fresh, at least in concept. Hyundai has been dabbling in the luxury space since 2008, when it introduced the mid-size, rear-wheel drive Genesis 4-door and, later, the larger Equus. More recently, Hyundai rechristened the former as the G80, redesigned the latter into this G90, and swept them together to create the standalone luxury entity called Genesis. As a successor to the Equus, the mega-huge G90 casts a wide net, hoping to both skim buyers away from pricier establishment players such as the Mercedes-Benz S-Class, BMW 7 Series, and Lexus LS, and offer buyers a larger alternative to fully loaded mid-size luxury sedans for similar money. In this mission, the G90 mostly succeeds. Budget bugaboo. Price, that omnipotent purchase factor, plays a big role. The rear or all-wheel drive G90 sedan comes in essentially one trim level, with the lineup split by engine choice. A 365 horsepower 3.3-liter twin-turbocharged V6 is standard, while a 420 horsepower 5.0-liter V8 is available, and adds decadent power rear seats that adjust 12 ways on the left and 14 ways on the right. Take your pick, then decide whether you want all-wheel drive for an extra $2,500, and choose from a few subdued paint choices and a tan or black interior, and you're done. The G90 tested here had the V8, rear-wheel drive, and a sticker price of $70,650. The car is fully equipped, although if we were to pick nits, it'd be nice if the kingly rear thrones offered a massage function and the tiny, compact car-size sunroof were larger. Genesis otherwise packs enough standard features into the G90's enormous, 204.9-inch long body to give us carpal tunnel syndrome from typing it all. The abridged version, a self-leveling suspension, adaptive dampers, self-leveling directionally adaptive headlights, a 17-speaker Lexicon audio system, inductive smartphone charging, a head-up display, a 360-degree view parking camera, adaptive cruise control, lane keeping assist, blind spot monitoring, automated emergency braking, self-latching doors, a power-operated trunk, a sunroof, supple leather upholstery, a power-adjustable steering column, 3-zone automatic climate control, and heated unventilated power seats at the 4 outboard positions. There are even controls that allow the driver or the right rear passenger to scoot the front passenger seat forward for even more rear legroom. Comfort, it has it. Visually, there's little about the G90 that suggests athleticism. Genesis's comfort-first intention is clear from the moment you sink into its Gatling 22-way power-adjustable driver's seat, designed with input from the Action Gesundheitsrücken, a German consortium of doctors and physical therapists that aims to prevent back pain. It continues with doors that shut with a damp refinement aided by thick seals around the aperture. Thanks partly to the 124.4-inch wheelbase and the suspension tuning, the G90's ride is softer than a cloud sandwiched between two marshmallows. Opt for the Sport Drive mode and the ride firms up only slightly. Outside of a mild tendency for the G90 to outrun its rebound damping, which allows the body one gentle bounce after large road dips, the car is otherwise planted and wheel motions are well controlled. The steering filters out the road nearly as well as the suspension does, but it is nicely weighted and tracks straight and true on the highway. Silence seekers will love the G90's convincing auditory impression of a bank vault with windows. We recorded a hushed 67 decibels at 70 miles per hour, a figure that matches today's Mercedes-Benz S550, while the car's 37 decibel idle and 73 decibel full-throttle sound measurements beat the Benz by 3 and 2 decibels. Acoustically laminated glass in all 4 doors and sound-absorbing wheels contribute to the serenity. The car is so quiet that we figured it was simply a giant metal ingot, one that would weigh as much. But the Genesis comes in at 4,647 pounds. That's about 140 pounds less than the Mercedes S550, although the Benz also carries a pair of turbos on its V8. and falls directly between our long-term, rear-drive turbo 6-powered BMW 740i, 4,385 pounds, and an all-wheel drive, 8-cylinder 750i we've tested, 4,883 pounds. The BMWs use carbon fiber in their structures and aluminum panels to reduce weight, but the Genesis is of conventional, all-steel construction. Open the tapes on Hyundai's 420 horsepower TAO V8, and the G90 leans back and smoothly builds speed, the muffled ripple emanating from beyond the dashboard interrupted only by the Hyundai designed 8-speed automatic sputtery shifts. And 60 miles per hour comes up in 5.3 seconds, a figure that trails the large sedan competition, even some with smaller engines and fewer cylinders. In fact, a 200 pounds heavier, V6-powered, all-wheel drive G90 matched this 8-cylinder model to 60 miles per hour, even though it has a 7-pound to put to work deficit, thanks to its better off-the-line traction. The V8 begins to pull away by 70 miles per hour, though, and thoroughly spanks the V6 model to 120 miles per hour, reaching the mark 2.2 seconds sooner. In everyday driving, however, the V8 model feels heavier and more ponderous than its sharper-handling V6-powered sibling. The all-wheel drive V6 G90, for example, holds a 0.02-gram grip advantage on our skid pad, 0.85 grams to 0.83 grams, stops 7 feet shorter from 70 miles per hour, 172 feet compared with the V8's 179, and generally feels lighter on its tires. Neither model is dynamically gifted, which is why we left the sport mode alone and instead spent the majority of our time in the standard smart setting. Soaking up miles was made even more pleasant sitting in the G90's lovely interior, which combines stitched leather, soft touch surfaces, real wood trim, and metallic elements to create a handsome if understated environment. There is a mesmerizing number of buttons on the dashboard, but all are within easy reach and impart a sense of accessibility to the G90's myriad controls and features that is unmatched in, say, a BMW. Even the menus in the 12.3-inch central display are intuitive and well presented, and the now luxury car standard control knob on the center console makes quick work of navigating the digital space. A few bits and pieces are shared with lesser Hyundais, but the G90's key touch points are specific to this design and operate with an expansive feeling confidence. The knurled chrome steering wheel controls, for example, as well as the infotainment system's knob controller, are far more rewarding to use than any switch on the Cadillac CT6's dashboard. And yet, all of this lends the G90 an approachable simplicity that stands out from the technologically dense BMW 7 Series, and the stolid Mercedes-Benz S-Class on Lexus LS 460. Get in, drive, and be pampered. That cohesion, which extends to the car's mechanicals, was sorely lacking in Hyundai's first-effort Genesis sedan and the old Equus, both of which seemed to incorporate the suspensions, steering systems, throttles, and brakes from different cars. We should applaud Genesis for improving on those products and synthesizing their character in the G90. Set aside Hyundai's rapid progress since building its first U.S. market car in the 1980s, though, and the G90 is less impressive on its own terms. Sure, it's cohesive, but for any car that costs more than $65,000, that's a core expectation. But where's the beef? We ask. Where's the why buy? The G90 brings not one unique feature or standout technology to the table. It doesn't look particularly interesting from outside, and many others in its price range, notably the Volvo S90, match or exceed it in terms of interior loveliness. It doesn't even offer the sort of customization, options, or fancier trims for today's luxury buyers who desire choice, and don't they all? Some may argue that a G90 needn't be anything more inspired than an affordable net into which buyers who can't swing an S-Class can leap, but a flagship sedan for a luxury brand should aspire to being more. Genesis needs to make a statement via design, engineering, or manufacturing that it can create a car that suits the consumer's desires better than its competitors. Ascension to the luxury ranks depends on creating a cult of desirability. No one buys Louis Vuitton handbags or BMWs because those brands started as discount-priced alternatives to higher cachet products. As a luxury sedan, the G90 is just fine. As a means of establishing Genesis as a name worthy of respect, it needs more work.